Do any of these album covers look familiar to you? Well, there's a good chance you're familiar with these albums, or at least the artists behind them, as they're pretty commonly regarded as some of the best albums of all time. Despite all of these well-known generational bands, one of the greatest bands that could be considered better than the majority of these artists has flown completely under the radar, despite having the #1 highest rated album of 2023. That band is Willy Rodriguez. This is Willy Rodriguez. They are a band, yes, a band, consisting of two people, Willy and Star, also known as Alex, or Drugbug. When I interviewed Alex about how the band met up, he said, quote, "We met in my Discord server in 2021. At first I wanted to focus more on my own music, so Willy was a side project. We started by making rap music, which was pretty bad. Eventually we started making e-punk, and that's when people started listening." So yeah, as Star pointed out, basically Willy just began as like a little fun little rap project that they'd be calls for hours and just, make random songs and just do it for fun. And they didn't really take it seriously until Willy came up to Star and was like, "Hey, we should make an album." And so that's what they did. In October of 2021, Willy Rodriguez's debut album released. The pop rock, e-punk, seemingly Weezer and car seat headrest inspired, no discernible end in sight. And this album was unique, to say the least. Yeah, okay, maybe it was a little rough around the edges, but it was their first big work together and it was received pretty well. After the album's release, Willy was finally a main serious project. They soon released their next EP, Spirit Number, only a month after their first album, which used this jangle pop style that the band would kind of become notorious for. Except after that, they'd do something a little crazy. The band would start a concept album, decide on a dark indie rock sound, and name the album Terminal Lucidity. Terminal Lucidity's conceptualization was rocky, to say the least. It was released in only 3 months, notably consisting of unfinished demos. Why? Well, the album sort of lacked direction. This eventually led to arguments about where they wanted the project to go, which eventually just led to the band deciding, heck it, let's release the demos, and just disband. That'll be it. And so the band disbanded, and they released Terminal Lucidity in January of 2022. Though this wouldn't exactly be the end. Okay, so a lot happened in 2022 for Willy Rodriguez as a band, but I don't have all the time in the world, so I'll just summarize. In early 2022, Star wanted to start a new band. He got it going. He got some demos down. He showed them to Willy. Willy was like, "Wow, these are really cool demos. We should make a new album with this." So the band got back together. They released another album called Silly Love Songs for Unfortunate Breakups in May of 2022. The band soon released the EP Bad Therapist only a month after Silly Love Songs came out. And they'd only continue making music. The same month, Willy, or Squee, the lead singer of the band, released his own solo EP called Ellie's Mixtape Part 1. And a few months after, Star, also known as Drugbug, released his EP Your Life is Meaningless Lol, which would both set up a canvas for a beautiful masterpiece. My vision was to make something very emotional and an artist statement. I was inspired by Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys and An Airplane Over the Sea, Come In, Pinkerton. These shaped what I wanted. I spent hours recording and writing alone. This was very different from our usual process of writing songs and call together. This caused a lot of problems in our working relationship and made Squee feel like he had no say in the album, which was true. I was pretty unmoving with my ideas. For the rest of 2022 and pretty much the entirety of 2023, most of Willy's time as a band was spent making this project. It's called Wetdream, and it is their second concept album after Terminal Lucidity. Essentially, this album merged concepts from the old Terminal Lucidity tracks which were unfinished, and combined them with the 2 solo projects that the band had released on their own separate accounts previously in 2022. It took kind of those concepts and reimagined it to a whole massive scale. This thing took over a year and a half to make, which was crazy for the band at the time. But once again, these conflicting ideas, Willy feeling like he didn't have much creative control in the process of making the album, it just caused a lot of complications. And after months and months and months of them working on this project together, they decided maybe it's best to disband, and this time, it was for good. In December of 2023, Willy Rodriguez would officially announce their disbanding. But this was not the end of the album. Wetdream was continued to be worked on for the rest of the month, and eventually released on Christmas Day to critical acclaim. The album would be highly rated by music critics, being called the best album of 2023, and within the top 200 of the AOTY top albums of all time. Overall, it's seen as their magnum opus, not only for them, but for even their solo projects, it trumps all of them. This album has meant so much to me and so many other people that it's insane. The lyrics are beautiful, the composition is beautiful. Drugbug says that he appreciates all the support that he's gotten, especially when it first came out, and he probably won't be able to make something better than it, but only time will tell.